What's up, Student Group family? Guys, thanks for joining us for Student Group Online tonight. I pray that as you watch this on YouTube, you're blessed, that you're encouraged. And as we get into some time with videos and worship and into teaching, I pray that you're encouraged this week. Hey, if you haven't been able to join us in person for Student Group, that's okay. Hey, take your time. You're making the right decision, whichever one is right for you. Hey, but I do want to point you to a couple things. Hey, if you're planning on joining us back anytime soon, August 2nd is a no-go. We will not have Student Group in person or online that night. The kids ministry here at Fredo Christian is using the space for some activities, so we won't be able to do that or to have the space that night. So take August 2nd off. Hey, but if you are planning on coming back, August 9th would be a great night for you to come back. It's Snow Cone Night at Fredo Christian for our students, and hey, we just want you to be encouraged by that. Come August 9th, have some snow cones. I don't know how many you want to eat. Eat as many as you want. All right, but be blessed, be encouraged. And guys, I pray that you enjoy Student Group Online tonight. Hey guys, all right, so Rafe and I are gonna play a game head to head here, okay? Not head to head, 6 feet apart, okay? So, we're gonna play this game, what's behind the mask, okay? So basically what's gonna happen is a picture of somebody's gonna pop up on here. They're gonna be wearing a mask, and we have to guess something about their picture without the mask. And if you hear clicking, clacking around, my dog's walking around this video right now. Okay, all right, Emily, go ahead, give us the first one. That's the background. Sweet, all right. Remove the mask, and what kind of expression does Taylor have? A, smile, B, frown, C, straight face. All right. All right. You ready?
Write the letter.
Yeah, just write it. You don't have to make a face. Like, you don't have to draw it. All right. I'm saying C, straight face.
Which one? Frown.
We're gonna say B, frown. All right. Let's see what it is. A. All right. Yes. All right. So I've got 1 point.
Call it that, whatever you want.
I've got 1 point. All right. Thank you, T Swift. Thank you, T Swizzle. All right. All right.
That's a no.
What? You don't think she's ever gonna see it?
No, not T-Swizzle.
Okay, cool. All right, let's see the second one. Pop star or actress? Who is this person behind the mask? A, Katy Perry, or B, Zooey Deschanel?
I don't know.
All right, Rafe, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I say B. What'd you say?
B, yeah.
We both said Zooey Deschanel. All right, let's see it. Big New Girl fans around here. Oh yeah.
Like, I know Katy Perry, so I was like, I don't think that's one of her looks.
All right. Rafe's also a big Katy Perry fan.
I used to be.
Okay.
That's why.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you got more. Alright, let's see it. Next one. Remove the mask, and where do you find Steph Curry's mouth guard? A, side of the mouth, B, on his teeth, or C, no mouth guard. Alright, let's see it. What you got? You ready?
Yeah.
Are you serious, Ray?
You say C, no mouth guard? I say A, side of his mouth. Boom!
Yeah, I knew that one.
Steph Curry always has a mouth guard, bro. Come on.
That's what happens
Gotta
when you
protect-
don't watch
gotta-
sports.
Gotta protect those pearly whites.
I don't even watch sports on that.
Alright, let's see. Rafe, you're losing hard right now. Well, 3-1. 3-1. Alright, let's see. What type of piercing will you find under this mask? First of all, I don't know who that is. A, lip, B, nose, C, tongue.
Is that Lizzo?
No. Alright,
I don't know.
okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Alright, I said B.
I said A.
Alright, let's see what we got. Nose piercing.
Yes.
Who is that?
I don't know.
Some rando. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it's just a random. Alright, let's see. I guess I need to know more celebrities.
Tell us in the comments.
Who's that?
Are you
The
serious?
Rock
What?
Johnson.
Dwayne.
I'm just kidding. Guys, I'm just kidding.
Write down the
I'm just
Dwayne.
kidding.
You said
But I
The
do have a
Rock
question. I
Johnson.
do have a question for you. Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?
He's never seen that.
He's not old. He's not old enough for
He's
that.
never
Which
seen
means
that.
if you're a student and you're watching this video, you probably aren't old enough for that. It was what he said when he was arrested. Okay. All right. Remove the mask. What is on The Rock's face? A, beard. B, clean. C, goatee.
Oh my god. gosh.
I really don't want to lose.
You're winning by a lot.
It's 4-1? Okay, sweet. Alright, you ready? I said B. I said clean.
I said A.
It's a good
Oh, okay. Alright. Okay.
That's a goat. You call that a goatee?
That's what
That is a goatee. Rafe doesn't know what facial hair is yet.
He's getting in like the spirit animal of Steve Cole. Awesome.
It's fine. Alright. Alright, here we go. Let's see the next one. What does Ed Sheeran, that's how you say his name, Sheeran, apparently,
Sheer.
have behind this mask? A, lipstick, B, clown nose, or C, a lollipop? Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Alright. I said B.
I said B. I could.
Okay, so clown nose.
I feel like you can barely see it.
You can see clown nose a little bit. Let's see. Yay, alright, okay, cool. As long as we both get it right, I'm fine, because I'm winning anyway. 5-2.
Winning is subjective.
Alright, let's see. What is the emotion behind the mask of this emoji? A, sad, B, indifferent, C, happy. You ready? Yeah. I said B. I said indifferent. Alright, okay, cool. Alright, let's see. See what it is. Oh, it's happy. Alright. Nope, nope.
By the way, Rafe, it looks like a potato, not a pea.
You're a potato.
Alright, let's see. What's the next one? What is the color of the macaroon, however you say
How
it?
would you?
You eat those.
I eat them a lot more than
You
you
should
do.
know.
I call them macarons, okay?
Macaron.
What is the color of the macaron that is about to be unmasked? A, pink, B, yellow, C, blue.
That's horrible. Thunder.
No, I'm going with my reliable. You ready?
No.
I said B. Oh, he said A. Oh no. Okay, let's see what it is.
Huzzah!
Hurts in my soul. What are you going to see on the mug of this pug? A, tongue out, C, B, smile, C, snarl. What'd you say? I said B.
What?
He
The
said
mouth's
A.
not open enough.
Alright. Let's see. Dang it! No!
Listen.
Oh, what's your score? How many do you have?
Out of 4.
I've only got 5 here. How many questions are left? Okay, that's
Oh.
fine. That's fine. Don't check. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's see what it is. See what's up. What are you gonna see on the mug of this llama? A, pucker. B, teeth. C, smile. Now that you got like buck teeth.
You look like the llama off in first you worry.
I know my llamas. Okay. All right. You ready? I said B.
I'm
said B.
It looks like you put B and then an A at the bottom of the B. Like
B.
Yeah,
okay.
stop with the
So we both said B.
curses.
Okay, so it's all right. Okay.
Those are-
6-5. Woo! All right. Okay.
My sister's Spanish. Stop.
What?
Yet.
Oh my goodness, those teeth are photoshopped
I know.
on for sure. All right. All right. Let's see it. See what we got next. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes! I am the champion, my friend. You are gonna lose today.
Lost.
I know. All right. So, we're gonna get Rafe's punishment ready. All right, guys. It's time for Rafe's punishment because he's not a loser, but he definitely lost. Okay. Okay.
No, I'm gonna let you pour that in first.
Okay, Emily, hit the face on there real quick. Alright, I'm going to fill up Rafe's bucket here. Oh, yeah.
So glad I wasn't on there yet.
Oh my goodness.
That's a lot.
It's cold.
That's gonna
I
splash
wanted to
out.
put ice in it, but then I
That's gonna splash.
Oh.
Alright, time for Rafe to get the bucket dropped. And we're going to use the old reliable gross Simpson foot. to take him out. Okay. Here we go. All right. Here we go.
Rip TV.
No, we'll just do it. All right. What are you doing?
Was it cold?
Yeah.
Alone in my sorrow and dead in my sin. Lost without hope and no place to begin. Your love made a way to let mercy come in. When death was arrested, my life would begin. Ash was redeemed, only beauty remains. My orphan heart was given. I'm mourning with quiet, my feet moved to death. When death was arrested, my life for your grace so free washes over me. You have made me new, now life begins with you. It's your endless love pouring down on us. You have made us new, now life begins with you. Released from my chains, I'm a prisoner no more. My shame was ransomed. He canceled my debt and he called me his friend. When death was arrested, my life began. Oh, your grace so free washes over me. You have made me new, now life begins with you. It's your endless love pouring down on us. You have made us new, now life begins with you. Our Savior displayed on a criminal's cross. Darkness rejoiced as though heaven had lost. What did Jesus who rose without freedom in hand? That's when death was arrested, my life began. Oh, your grace so free washes over me. You have
What's up, guys? Hey, welcome back to week 2 of our series, The Youth Will Win. Guys, we are talking about obstacles that you as youth, as teenagers, can overcome, can face and overcome as you fulfill what God's got for your life. Like, the whole idea of this series is that 12 teenagers followed one man and changed the world. That's our whole thought with this series. And guys, you can change the world. You can impact the world right where you're at right now. You don't have to wait till you're an adult. You don't have to wait till you've got a job and a house. You can do it right now. You can impact the world for Christ right now. You can make a big difference right now. So guys, let me ask you a question. Have you ever faced a problem that you felt was really big, but actually had a really simple solution? Okay, like you freaked out because you couldn't find your phone, right? We've probably all been there. You're like, where's my phone? Oh no, did I leave it at the gas station? Did I leave it on the plane? Oh my gosh, no wait, did I drop it out the car window? What? And then you realize, oh wait, it's like actually right on in your hand or in your back pocket that you didn't check. It's little solutions to things that seem really big, right? Maybe you've had other things like that. Like you've had to do math homework or something and you felt like, man, I'm never gonna figure this stuff out. But then you actually just kind of figure out the solution. It's right in front of your face, right? I had a situation like that a while back. It was a few years ago, probably like 5-6 years ago maybe now. Gosh, that seems like a long time. But 5-6 years ago, I was at a coffee shop at my college. I went down to this coffee shop in the lower floor of the student center, and I'm standing there waiting, and I'm waiting on somebody to come and take my order to get my drink, right? To get my coffee. And I'm just like waiting, and I'm starting to get super mad, starting to get super upset. I'm like, what is the deal? I have a problem? Well, what I didn't realize is the answer to my problem was actually right in front of my face. You see, they'd put a sign that said, this coffee shop closes for this brief period of time so that the workers can go eat lunch. Real simple answer to my problem that seemed stupid big. Like, it was just annoying me. Sometimes the answers are right in front of our face. Sometimes the answer to a big problem is something really small that is easier to deal with. Okay? Here's what I know. I know that when it comes to big problems, it's really hard to focus on the small things, right? Maybe in life, like you've had this thought that where you've just had this mountain of an issue, of a problem, of a struggle in front of you, and you felt so overwhelmed and overcome. I know in high school there was times where I felt like that. Even as I approached my last few years in high school when I was a student, way back when, was that I felt really overwhelmed about the fact that I was getting ready to start college, that I was having to do all these things, and I felt so overwhelmed. I remember calling the university that I went to that summer and just saying like, hey man, I'm calling the admissions director at that time, Caleb, nice guy. He answered the phone. He said, hi, this is Caleb, how can I help you? And I said, Caleb, man, I don't know anything about college. I don't know what to do. I don't know when I'm supposed to be there or anything. And he's like, okay. He goes, let's deal with this, okay? I've got you, man. And like step by step, he took me through like small steps and things I had to do to get ready for school. Now, some of you guys are saying that is nothing. Like I have got a mountain of problems in front of me, and I can't do anything about it. Well, what I want to encourage you to do today is this, to look at the little things in that struggle. Okay, here, I guess the question that most of us would ask is, how can we fix a large problem with little things, right? How can we fix a large problem with little resources? Okay, so today what I want to do, I want to look at a story in the scriptures, in the Bible, and together we are going to talk about how to face down our mountain-like problems with little solutions. Okay, today I'm going to read from John chapter 6, verses 1 through 3. in that passage it says, sometime after this, Jesus crossed to the far shore of the Sea of Galilee, that is, the Sea of Tiberias. And a great crowd of people followed him because they saw the signs he had performed by healing the sick. Then Jesus went up on a mountainside and sat down with his disciples. The Jewish Passover festival was near. When Jesus looked up and saw a great crowd coming toward him, he said to Philip, one of his disciples, "Where shall we buy bread for these people to eat?" He asked this only to test him, for he already had in mind what he was going to do. Philip answered him, "It would take more than half a year's wages to buy enough bread for each one to have a bite." Okay, huge meal, right? So we keep reading in this passage. In verse 8 it says, another of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, spoke up, "Here is a boy with 5 small barley loaves and 2 small fish. But how far will they go among so many?" Jesus said, "Have the people sit down." There was plenty of grass in that place, and they sat down. About 5,000 men were there. Now, hey, real quick, it doesn't mention how many women and children were there, okay? Because there were thousands, all right? So a huge crowd of people. Jesus then took the loaves, gave thanks, and distributed to those who were seated as much as they wanted. He did the same with the fish. When they had all had enough to eat, he said to his disciples, "Gather the pieces that are left over. Let nothing be wasted." So they gathered them and filled 12 baskets with the pieces of the 5 barley loaves left over by those who had eaten. Now, hey, that passage, that scripture from John, is one that some of you may have heard before. It's about the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, the little boy who brings his lunchbox and says, "Jesus, do something with it." So Jesus has this huge crowd of people all around him, following him, wanting to see what he does, wanting to hear his teaching. And he says, "Hey, we got to feed these people." So he asks Andrew, he says, "Hey, what are we going to do?" Right? And Andrew says, "We can't. What are you talking about? We don't have enough money for this." We're just like, what? Like, we can't do this. Now, Philip said that. Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, comes up and says, "Hey, this kid's here with his lunchbox. It's got 5 loaves of bread and 5 small fish." Okay, and he's got this, and he wants you to use it. Now, Jesus knew this was going to happen. Jesus knew what he was going to do, but he asked his followers, "How are we going to feed these people?" Because he wanted them to see what was about to happen. Okay? Hey, I want you to understand this, that sometimes big miracles are a result of small obedience. Okay? Now, that kid, he's like, "Man, I don't have much." He's like, my mom didn't pack me a big lunch today, but hey, I've got what I've got, and God, I'm going to trust you to do something with it. All right? Sometimes big miracles are a result of small obedience. It just takes trusting that God is going to take care of you, that God is going to do what he says he will. It takes faith, actually. It takes faith to do that. And actually, I've got a couple stories about faith that I want to share with you today. The first story is this. There once was a man who slipped and fell off a cliff while he was hiking on this mountain. You see, he fell, but luckily down the mountainside, he was able to grab onto a branch on his way down. Now, he's holding on for dear life. He looks down about 1,000 feet down, but it's about 20 feet from the cliff from where he fell. And he's thinking like, "Oh no, oh my gosh." And he starts to panic and he just yells, "Help, help, is anybody there? Help." And a booming voice speaks up and says, "I am here. I will save you if you believe in me." And the guy says, I believe. And he yells that back. And the voice says, "If you believe me, let go of the branch and I will save you." And the young man holding onto the branch heard what the voice said and looked down again, seeing the valley, the rocks below him. Quickly looked back up and shouted, "Is there anybody else up there?" Now, it's a funny little story, But it's this thought that rings true for a lot of us. Okay? If we're Christians and we've heard what God says for us and that his plans are good for us and he's going to take care of us, sometimes what he calls us to or leads us to, we don't always like. And we start to look for other ways. You know, sometimes when we're faced with a giant mountain of a problem, we don't like God's answer for it. So we start to figure out our own way to get around it or how others have told us to get around it. Sometimes we just get bitter about the problem, you know, and we just get mad at God because we're like, God, look at what I'm facing and look at what they're facing. We look at somebody else's situation and compare it to ourselves, right? You know, we say, they have so much more. If I was just in their shoes, if I had what they had, God, I wouldn't have any problems. I'd be able to deal with this, no struggle, okay? This boy in John 6, in that story from the Bible we just read, he comes forward with 5 loaves and 2 fish and feeds 5,000 men, not including the women and children. They got fed too, don't worry, okay? Huge faith by that little guy. Huge faith by this kid, right? This young kid with his lunch says, hey, Jesus, I know we got a big problem. And it may not seem like much, but I've got this little solution for you. So Jesus takes this small amount, this small portion that this kid brings forward and does a big miracle with it. And not just like enough. Like Jesus doesn't just like have, you know, oh, here's a loaf for everybody. It literally says that they filled 12 baskets with extra. That Jesus, if we trust him, if we bring what little we have to him and we say, God, do something with it. God, I don't feel like I'm strong enough to make it through this problem. God, I don't feel like I've got enough resources to make an impact. But here's the little things I have. If we say, God, I don't feel like I'm a great communicator, but I really care about people. Use that. God's going to use it for something huge. He's going to use it in a big way. If you come before God and you say, God, I don't feel talented or gifted to be able to change the world, but here's what I do have, just a few skills. God's going to take those few skills and multiply them so that you can make an impact on your world. God's going to do that. He takes small acts of obedience and makes big miracles out of them. The bottom line for this message is this: don't wish for more. Use what you have. We can't sit around and say, God, I'll change the world when I'm an adult and when I've got all this money and when I'm gifted and I've got these skills and I've went to college and everything. Like, don't wait on that. God can use you to change the world right now as a teenager, as a youth. He can and he will if we trust him with small acts of obedience. Because we have to trust what our Father says. I want to share one more story with you. This pastor in Houston some time ago, he described a time when his daughter, Melody Jan, came to him. She was 5 years old. She came to him and he's reading and drinking coffee and she asked him for a dollhouse. Now he's reading and drinking coffee, so he just is like, yep. And he promised to build her a dollhouse as he's reading his book. So soon he began to glance out the window into the yard, right? And he saw Melody Jan with her arms filled with dishes and toys and dolls, making trip after trip after trip out into the yard with the playthings she had. He asked his wife, she's like, what is Melody Jan doing? And his wife, Melody's mother, said, oh, you promised to build her a dollhouse. And she believes you. She's just getting ready for it. And John, that pastor, he talks about that he felt like he got hit by an atom bomb. He threw his book away, raced to the lumber yard, like basically the Lowe's, for supplies, for wood, for boards, and built her a dollhouse. Now, he said, why did I build her that house? Was it because I wanted to? No. He probably would have stayed and read his book, drank his coffee. Was it because she deserved it? No, not really. It was because her father her dad had given her his word to do something, and she believed him and trusted him. Hey, if you're a follower of Jesus today, and you're trusting God to do something big in your life and through you, you have to trust what he says in the middle of the storm, when you're facing a huge mountain, when it seems like the problem or the struggle is too big for you to deal with. You have to trust that God's going to take the little acts of obedience that you have, and he's going to use them for a big, big miracle. Maybe you're praying that God would use you at your school or in your community to impact that place hugely, like in a big, massive way. Like you want to see so many people come to know Jesus in that place. But you're like, man, ain't nobody want to hear about Jesus here. Let me encourage you that maybe the small act of obedience that God is pushing you to today is to focus on one person and sharing Jesus with them. Don't get burdened with the big, massive mountain of a problem, that you forget about the small things that God's calling you to do. Because God's going to take those small things, those small acts of obedience, and do a big miracle. Let me pray for you guys tonight as we close out. God, I'm praying for the students and the people on the other side of this video. God, I pray that we together trust you. God, we trust what you said. And God, we have faith that you're going to do big things, big miracles with the small acts of obedience and the small offerings we bring to you. God, we know that you are all powerful and mighty, and that God, you can do whatever you want. God, I'm praying for them, that they trust you, that they know your love, and that you use them to change the world one small act of obedience at a time.